Yo,
Well,
that intro
hello.
never ceases to be iconic.
I think it's gonna be my new ringtone, even though I keep my phone on silent.
You guys notice
That's
the little
what it is.
the gas burner clicker at the start?
I love it.
That's like my favorite
That's
part.
the
What do you?
best
Of
part.
course, I
The
noticed that.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
literally the best part of the whole shebang.
yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
we're chilling this week. Last week
I-
was a catch-up week, I feel like, right?
yeah.
Where
Last week was a catch-up week.
we discussed all the things we've eaten in the past month, right?
Yeah, it
I
was,
feel like.
wasn't it?
Yeah, that was interesting because now since then I've gone to remember I told you guys I was going to a place called Scotch Lodge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. How
yeah, yeah.
was that?
Yeah, it was so good. We went twice in the same week.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
that
did
was
you eat? What did you eat? What did you get? Tell
so
us.
the first week we went, it was for a friend's birthday, and we ordered pretty much the menu. And it's not a big menu, mind you. It was like I think it's like 15 items on the menu, so we probably ordered 10.
Mm-hmm.
And we had everything from oysters, right? Fresh oysters with like different granadas and toppings and stuff like that on there. Those were fantastic. We had arancini. If you guys don't know what arancini are, they're
Oh,
it's
yeah.
risotto that is usually leftover risotto. A lot of it sometimes fresh. This one tasted really fresh, and it was balled up, and they did like the thinnest fried crust on it, which was insane.
Ooh, ooh.
We also had the fried brie, and I know that like baked brie is a big thing, but baked brie, it's like you take the whole brie and you put it in the oven, right? With whatever.
Yeah.
This, I feel like they cut it in these most beautiful, like rectangular logs, like cheese, like they're adult cheese sticks. And then they coated it in just like a touch of cornmeal. And so I swear to you, like 95% of this was cheese and 5% was the crust. So like you barely broke it open and it was just this melty, right? Delicious. It is so,
Yo.
and it was paired with a honey pistachio and pumpernickel drizzle. Okay, so it was like a little bit of honey on there, pumpernickel like spring. Oh, it was amazing, so good.
Yo.
The other thing we got was the roasted beets. So it was roasted red beets with a touch of like pickled fennel on top.
Mm-hmm.
It had a couple of other components. I don't remember because I kind of blacked out eating it because that was so good. Then we also got a pork belly that was roasted with gochujang and like another kimchi. That was fantastic. We had a rigatoni with a kombu pomodoro. That was pretty good.
Oh wow.
A fettuccine with some sauce. I didn't actually order that. I remember somebody at the table got that. And I think we got we got a cheese board that was like the best adult lunchable. I posted it on Twitter. It was $42 for this thing, right? But it probably had 3 different meats, fresh lychee fruit, some like candied almonds on there. It had some fresh bread from a local bakery. It had a seaweed cracker, which I've never had. It had local honey. It had gorgonzola. It had a provolone. Oh, it was fantastic. But then the cocktails at this place, majority of them were scotch or whiskey cocktails, which are not very common, right? From what I have seen. And they just like knocked it out of the park. The first time I went, I had a smoked mezcal tequila cocktail with a splash of like this whiskey that they use too. So it had these different layers of smokiness to it. And then last night when I took Rachel, we got the cheese board because it was fantastic. And then I actually got something called the Gathering Storm, which was it was a scotch cocktail. I don't even remember which scotch, but I remember it had a coffee liqueur in there and then a few other things, but then they put something called a smoke top on there and they place it on top of the glass and they put wood chips in it. I don't know what kind, and they smoke it and they bring it to you and they let it sit for like 30 seconds. And when they, pull the top off, all of the smoke kind of dissipates and it leaves this like lingering aroma of the smoke. And it's like slightly sweet, smoky. Oh my God, this place was freaking, it was nuts, right? It was a little expensive. For 2 people, it wasn't bad. Maybe $40 a person for a cocktail with like maybe an app and an entree or something.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, like for Rachel and I, it was 2 cocktails and the freaking adult sized Lunchables, basically, which we after eating it, we're like, we don't want any more food. It was that filling, and that was with tip, about $90. So for a nice night out with good
That's
cocktails,
to me, that's like well within
yeah.
reason. I
But it's also
routinely drop $50 on sushi when I go out to eat.
see, there you go. And for us, it's more the atmosphere. It's kind of a speakeasy. It felt like going into like a basement almost with this beautiful whiskey wall. Their whiskey list was served to you in a custom manila envelope because it was like 3 pages front and back of like 8-point font, right? Just like
Yo, bro.
it was insane. Like
I'm
those,
gonna just
yeah.
I just really need I need everyone to understand that I just ate a piece of toast. Paul just watched me eat a piece of toast. It was a good piece of toast. But when you have the audacity to describe food in such a way at this early hour of my day, it makes me want to commit various misdeeds
You're
that
welcome.
the world has not seen because that sounds so good. And I
You
just
want to.
want it so bad. And I just really want to be on summer vacation so I can go wine tasting every single day and eat grazing boards and like live my best fancy food lifestyle.
I think cheese boards are severely under or overrated depending on where you get them from, right? I feel like
Yeah.
in the US, we have like a cheese board fetish, I swear. Right. You'll
Yeah.
go if you see a place that has a cheese board, usually it's really, really good. But then I saw the post that Chris Broad put up on Twitter about a cheese plate he ordered because apparently he really likes cheese plates and somewhere in
Oh
Japan.
yeah.
And it
Oh,
had
cheese plates in
like
Japan are sad.
dude, it had like 3 grapes or something, or not even 3 raisins, like 2
Yeah.
almonds, a piece of cheese, and maybe a cracker. And I'm like, who?
Yeah. I think I saw that as well.
I know there are cultural differences, but like, what's the point of that?
I don't know. This is weird, like, because you can get really nice cheese here. I was just thinking, I love going to Caldi, which is how would you? It's like World Market a little bit.
It's like World Market. It's like a food world market, I would say.
Yeah. And
I
there's
agree.
all there at every station has one. There's one like 5 minutes from my house, and they have these really good cheese logs, but they'll do like honey almond, or they'll do like special little like varieties and stuff like that. You can get all matter of good charcuterie fare pretty easily
And put it together yourself.
Put it together yourself.
Yeah.
But I agree though that going out at restaurants, it's pretty disappointing.
And it's always a fascinating thing. Like cheese boards to me are interesting because they tell a lot about a restaurant and how creative they want to be. So by like the variety that they put on there and how well things worked with each other. And so if you combine anything on the cheese board together, it should taste good, which is actually very difficult. So they had one thing on there that were they were house made fresh mozzarella balls, right? So like little ones, like maybe the size of like the top of my thumb, but they were covered in a house made chili crisp. So the chili crisp was like a little salty, a little sweet, a little spicy. Even with those flavors, I could put it with anything else on the cheese board and it was fantastic. I literally took the piece of fresh lychee fruit and I put the cheese ball inside the little cavity of the lychee and I was like, what is this? Why does this work?
The audacity.
It was so good. Yes, that place has a special place in my heart. I think we're going to try to go there once a month because they update their menu pretty often and just go try a new cocktail.
That's how you know that you found a great restaurant.
Yeah. The only thing that sucks is that it's legitimately about a 45-minute drive away. Like each way, and it's like it's not terrible, but for a date night and maybe just like a once a month outing, it's not bad.
At least you can have in America you can like have a drink and then drive after. In Japan, not so. You can't drive 45 minutes, have a drink and then drive back. You would have to like forfeit drinking for the evening. But that's why we've got trains here.
That's true. Like you guys have plenty of public transit.
Yeah, but controversial opinion. Well, maybe not. Just a question. What do you guys think about grazing boards or like butter boards? Or like,
what's a butterboard?
Yeah, I think you need balance. As soon as I hear a butterboard, I'm like, I don't want it.
Is it all butter?
Butterboard is where you take a board like so, okay, and you have your butter, and you like take it out of the package and like put it down in like pats of butter, and then over it you sprinkle, salt. You decorate it with like herbs, maybe a drizzle of honey or whatever. And the idea is that you take a piece of bread and maybe like a knife and you just like scoop some off the board and onto your bread. It's like a thing.
Okay, I think a really great subreddit is called We Want Plates, and I just don't like eating off of weird things. Just how about put that on a normal plate?
But it's like a shark, but it's
No,
just
but
like
it's a charcuterie. Like I
it's a
can see
charcuterie.
that.
Buttery goop in the wood grain.
No, it'll if the wood grain is fine, if it's well like oiled and stuff, it'll
Yeah,
be
it'll come
okay.
out. It's
But
like a cheese board, but with butter
yeah,
instead.
but
Like we don't
also
have
I
individual plates for cheese
yeah,
On the
boards.
board though.
but also I will agree with Joe. Like if that board is used for anything else, it'll carry flavor sometimes. So
Mm.
like even this place where we got the charcuterie board, I think it was more of just like a giant bento box, and then the
Mhm.
butter was actually because it was a whipped butter was put in a sake glass.
Yeah.
So that was
Ooh,
like on
yummy.
there,
Okay,
and
Emily doesn't like eggs, but Paul, would you eat a fried egg or whatever off of a board?
No, I don't think I would. Only because it depends if it's like scrambled eggs or something, I don't care. But if it's like with egg yolk,
Yeah,
then that
totally
egg yolk
true.
is going straight into the board, and it's
Yeah.
actually kind of not great to like clean up, you know? So I can see I really like plating stuff on boards if it's appropriate.
If it's
So
liquefied, then I am out of
yeah,
five. I don't want to.
But butter is not liquefied. It is an
Butter's on the
emulsified
liquid.
fat.
Butter's on the liquid side.
it's technically
No.
considered a fat, but I will say it can seep into boards because I've seen it happen. Like you'd have
What's
to get
the PSA have to say about that? Does it?
so what we used to do is for one of the restaurants I worked in is anytime you would put butter or something fatty on like for a cheese board, we actually used slates. So that way it still had that really cool kind of rustic look to it, but slates were washed really easily and they carried no flavor. Yeah, there you go. Like you put it on something like that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But would
So you would
I
eat
think
butter off of this, but you wouldn't eat it off just a board.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
butter is like wood is porous.
I will say, and that's also a big thing with like kitchen work. If you don't take care of your wood cutting boards, they can actually be harmful in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So I have like a giant boo block that I use, and I think I oil it probably once, sometimes twice a week, right? And even then, you sometimes have to refinish them and all this other stuff because they do carry bacteria,
Yeah.
But that's why a lot of restaurants. I feel like I haven't had something served on a wood platter in a while that didn't also have like little cups or something holding the other stuff in.
Yeah.
Also it's less messy. So like if you're getting like a nice marinated olive or something with some oils and some lemon or whatever, you want those in a ramekin so that way they're not like leaking onto
dribbling.
everything.
Well, I guess I think the concept of like a butter board, it's the board is like you can use any old thing for a board. It's just
Right.
like a spread of butter. It's I think that like the reason I'm asking this question is because people find it really off-putting, not for Joe's explanation of it will seep into the board, but because it's just
It's just butter
it's a
and bread.
plate of butter and people
Yeah.
are like, "Ooh, butter."
No,
But
I'm
can-
down with the
I feel
butter
like-
aspect, especially drizzling it with all the toppings and all that stuff.
Ever since I watched someone eat butter like a piece of cheese, like on toast, I am obsessed and I do that all the time now.
I
Someone
don't
was like showing you how to eat caviar and they're like, you get a nice like thick piece of butter on some bread and you take a bite and you should see the teeth marks in the butter
Oh,
and
that's
then you
too
have
much
your
for me.
caviar or whatever.
Just
Oh,
you can replace
no,
that with
that
like a
sounds
nice
so
cheddar and I'm
good.
down.
That's
But
so
that's
good though.
because like I like butter to be a flavor, not a like a main component, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
I guess.
when I do like a slice of baguette, I'll always do like a nice spread of the butter and then maybe like some smoked sea salt to flavor it, right? Whatever.
Mm.
Or like yesterday, we had the whipped butter with the baguette that we had, but I would take the baguette, I would put just a small amount of the butter on there for the flavor, and then I would put like one of the smoked meats or something else on top of it. So you had different levels of
Mhm.
flavor.
Yeah.
I have legitimately never had straight up butter board. I've had like, a ramekin of butter with like a baguette at a restaurant. I've had that, but I don't think I would actually order a butter board. Just if I saw a butter board
Oh.
next to like a meat cheese board, I'm getting the meat cheese board every
You know
single
what?
time.
I might get the butter board. I've had some pretty like lame meat cheese boards where they'll give you like 2 pieces of meat and like 3 sticks of cheese, and you're like, wow, I'm paying $13 for this. Great.
That's fair. Like I wish I had a picture of this, but it was a ridiculous meat
The
cheese
one
board.
that I think I saw a picture of the one that you ordered. It looked really freaking good. We do
Yeah.
this in California. This is my favorite thing to do is you make a giant picnic basket and take it to wineries and just drink in their garden outside and eat your picnic basket. So like last 2 summers ago we did this. We had this giant like flat basket and we just like stocked it full of like meat, tapenade, like olives, hummus. We had like various dips. You just go to Trader Joe's and like rifle through their
Do you do
dips.
anything
It's like
like that out
yeah.
in Japan at all? I know you guys said you went on a
No,
picnic not too long ago, but
you
do you do
yeah
like just like a winery thing? Is there like, because I know wineries out here, they
yeah
have like the giant like areas of grass where you can go sit on, or like an outdoor area or whatever. I'm
yeah
assuming that a lot of Japan is like that real estate's really premium.
yeah. That doesn't really exist.
Mhm.
There's like wine country in Japan. I've never been out there. But usually these things what I like about the vibe in California is that you can bring food in and wineries are like, "Yeah, just come hang out and, like, sit in
Mhm.
our, sitting area and, like, drink our wine or whatever, we don't care." But in Japan, you can't really do it. It's, like, kinda rude to bring your own food into establishments, like wineries, like beer places. It depends where you are, like, if you're on a campground like, Joe, didn't we go to we went to, like, a brewery on a campground, right?
Yeah, in Izu, right?
Yeah.
Bear
Yeah.
Beer Brewery.
And I feel like that kind of vibe, it would have been okay to bring something, but even then, they had snacks that they expected you to buy
Yeah,
there.
at that point, though, it's like this is a hotel, restaurant, brewery combo kind of
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm. A lot of the time they want you to buy everything from them, which
yeah,
I
yeah.
understand. But I'm curious as to like the stuff out here in even in Oregon, and we visited places in California and Idaho, there are wineries. They want you to buy their wine. So a lot
Mm,
of the times they don't care if you do bring food in, which is really interesting to me. I
yeah,
would try to sell you whatever we have, but if it just means, because the markup is so insane on alcohol, that you're honestly like, they're making a ton of money from you no matter what.
yeah, yeah.
thing.
And they would rather I think for a lot of these wineries that are in at least where, like, my parents are at now in California, they're, like, smaller wineries, so I don't think they necessarily want to go to all the trouble to, like, have food on site for people in a kitchen and everything. They're very happy for you to just, like, I remember the last one we went to, we just brought a bag of pretzels and brownies and, like, snacked and, like, hung out, and we were celebrating someone's birthday. It was just very fun, and it's all outdoors because the weather's great. California's great. I love California.
Yeah, California is great in a lot of ways, and it's also not great in a lot of ways, is why we
Yeah,
left,
fair,
and now
fair
I'm like,
enough.
yeah,
I
yeah.
will say at the same time that this, like, self-described, like, we had, pretzels and brownies or whatever. There was also, like, literally no water in the tiny little town that we were in, so they were like, "Yeah, just don't flush the toilet." It's like, whatever. So, hey, there's give and take in California, you know what I mean?
I love that. Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to kind of go back for a few occasions. Like, I'm going to Card Party. I'm helping out there. Hopefully Anime Expo, doing that
Mm,
whole thing.
mhm,
But it's like, what other than the weather, I don't like, there's nothing there that I can't get in a lot of places.
mm,
Now that I think about it, like, we have a great like wine country out here in Oregon. If I hopefully the weather gets better, like, it's been actually the one thing, the weather again, like I said, because it's been raining for 3 weeks straight here, and
Mm.
mm,
I'm like losing my mind just a little bit.
mm.
Yeah.
Spring just popped up in Japan. It's nice. It's gorgeous outside now.
Do you
Yeah.
guys get a lot
It
of rain this time of year?
it hit 80 degrees yesterday. Rain,
Yes and no. It's
ish.
monsoon season kinda comes in. And so it kind of rains, actually, April is, like, the month of rain in Japan. They do get, like, spring showers, bring Mayflowers kinda thing, but we
Mhm.
haven't had too much, I would say. There's been a couple, like, spring storms, but nothing crazy. But definitely in June, we'll get more, and then monsoon season really picks up, like, July, August, September.
Which is kind of wild to like hear it like, oh, it's monsoon season. That makes me
Or
very intimidated.
technically, here, it's typhoon season, but yeah, monsoon, typhoon, it's, like, the same thing. Tsunami season.
Isn't
Yeah.
this
Oh,
atmospheric
good.
river thing on the West Coast? Isn't that kind of seasonal now?
I don't know. This was the first year I feel like I've experienced the atmospheric river. Like, that hit California really hard. In
Mm.
our
Yeah.
area, it didn't. I mean, it's just another like year in Oregon kind of thing, because it's just always wet here. So you're like, it's a little extra wet this year,
Yeah.
Like, so it's not a huge difference. Like today, it's been cloudy all day. I'm looking out the window, but no rain. It's actually slightly humid. And I was like,
Ugh.
man, it would have
Ugh.
been a great day to like go do some filming outside for a video we're working on. But then I don't want to take the chance of, what if we're out there with all of these clouds and we have all this camera equipment and then it just starts dumping rain, because that has happened. And I'm like, no, put it under the shirt, like, save the
Yeah.
camera, right?
Yeah.
And so it's fine. I mean, there's give and take. The one thing I dislike is driving into Portland when it's like the rain is nuts to like go to dinner because it's so
Yeah.
far away for us. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's why like I'm making ramen downstairs, so we
Yeah.
can enjoy that.
Yeah. That sounds so good, dude.
I know.
Oh,
I'm
man.
excited for it. But then like tonight we're having salmon and salad because to make up for the ramen for later.
Yeah.
Gosh, so Paul, you were just talking about this amazing meal you had, and in my head, I'm like, what did I eat this week? What was my meal that I was like most proud that I would most want to brag about right now? And I'm struggling, y'all.
It's because you've been eating Canadian's food for a week.
What?
Yeah.
You've been eating Combi food for a week.
I have been eating convenience food for a week. I was thinking, okay, the coolest thing I had this week was I concocted. All right, so two things. I may have like co-opted a sandwich maker, like a sandwich grill at my workplace, and I didn't ask for it. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Is it okay to use somebody else's sandwich maker?
Did you take it from work again? Is this one of those situations where you just copied like the buffalo sauce?
Fiasco has been like.
Also, we had words about that buffalo sauce at school the other day. It was so funny. We were all sitting around, like me and all of our other like teacher friends were sitting around, and they're like, someone was like, "Oh, can I get some hot sauce?" And the other guy was like, "Yeah, go for it." And they're like, "Wow, is this the only hot sauce we have left?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is."
No,
they're like, "What happened to the hot sauce? I thought we had a lot." And I kept quiet, but someone else was like, "Oh, Joe took it," and everyone was like, "What?"
You just got called out,
the person
dude.
was like, "Yeah, a whole liter of hot sauce. He just took it." And everyone was like, "What do you mean he took it?" And then Joe walks in, and I'm like, "Yeah, Joe, what is it? What do you mean he took it?" And Joe's like, "What?" And everyone's like, "The hot sauce. Where's the hot sauce?"
The hot sauce was brought. I'm not talking like a Tabasco. This is like a liter of like something from Costco of like Frank's Red Hot, right? And I was there when the colleague brought it in, and she was like, "Guys, we can't eat this. This is too much for my house. I'm just gonna put it here." In my mind, that's open. That's like, here, I'm getting this out of my house. That's like whenever you put like your sofa on your front lawn and somebody comes by to take it. Like, I don't want this. I want this out of my house. Just as long as it's not in my house, I'm happy. That's how I interpreted that.
Oh, right. Am I gonna have to send you guys like a
community hot sauce for everybody to enjoy?
Yeah. Meanwhile, she's over here like, "Yeah, I brought it in because I saw that you guys all eat hot sauce for lunch, and I wanted you to have some."
I think she's retconning a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. It was pretty funny though. It was
good. Okay. So then I also
the panini press is in the communal cooking area, Joe. I don't know.
Cooking area. So there's a sandwich maker, and to his credit, he wasn't upset, but he was like, "Oh, sandwich maker. Okay, all right."
Wait, did someone question you about the sandwich making?
Yeah, he like, in so many words was like, "Oh, you found my sandwich maker." I was like, "Yeah, it was here." Paul, how do you feel about that? Can I use the sandwich maker?
You can use the sandwich maker.
It's a panini press.
As long as you don't take it home, dude.
Watch.
That's a community sandwich maker, bro.
She was like, "Shoot, I was gonna take that home."
You catch me when I'm got it under my arm, like, what?
Do not take that home with you. That is not okay.
I will say it's in the communal kitchen area, so I think this guy shouldn't have any like bones to carry about this. But if you took it home, that would be a very different issue. Okay.
Well, I want to hear other people's like workplace food stories if you've got any. I'm very curious to see. Am I in the wrong? I just got it out there, Hey, I'm real careful about like single-use things, right? If there's somebody puts like, a Diet Coke in there or something, I'm not gonna touch the Diet Coke. That's yours, clearly.
I can see that. But also the community sandwich maker. It's like a microwave to me.
Yeah, it's like a microwave. I think it's like a tool. It's an implement. And like he could have kept it in his office / classroom, but he didn't.
No,
he put it in the kitchen area. So
yeah. So anyways, my favorite meal that I made with my weirdest one was a conveni hack where I got the Fammy Chicky and I got like a piece of bread, like a ham and cheese kind of sandwich fold over thing. Slice that in half, put the Fammy Chicky inside with some mustard, and put that in the panini press. And that was my big hack.
There's one restaurant that, God, if you guys visited, it would be the first one we went to. It would be Sugar Pine Drive-In, and they do like smoked meats. They're right on the water. They do really like everything that they do is seasonal. And they have some of the best soft serve ice cream I've ever had in my life. Like they do it up with sundaes. It's just amazing. But they introduced a what is it, like the spinach artichoke dip that everyone knows about, right? But they did it as a grilled cheese sandwich in a waffle maker. So it was like all of the cheeses and the
Yo,
spinach and the and
bro, that
fresh
sounds
artichoke, because artichokes are in season, and then
that
they just
sounds
press it in
so
a waffle maker. I want it so badly. I've not yet gone for their new menu change. They
You
change their menu
haven't
every 8 weeks or
been
so.
yet?
No, dude. I'm like, I've been
Dude.
swamped with work, and I need to go get it. Like I saw it and I was like, I need this. I'm not even a huge fan of spinach artichoke dip because I feel like I have PTSD from spinach artichoke dip from making it so much, but this just looked so good. And that made me
Dude.
want a sandwich press or even just a waffle maker. It's like I would do this. I would make
Hey,
sandwiches like
waffle
this.
maker multi-purpose because you can just panini press
100%.
it and also
Yeah.
have incredible waffles if you ever wanted a waffle, you know.
100%. Like I'm so down to have that right now, but I'm
Mm.
like, no, it's 45 minutes away. I go drive there. I just go buy a waffle maker because I want it. I don't know. That's one thing that's been on my
That's
mind for like the
really
past 2
good.
weeks. If you guys aren't following Sugar Pine Drive-In and you want to give yourself something to drool over, should follow them.
Sugar Pine Drive-In. On Instagram, I'm gonna do it right now.
How often?
What's that?
How often do they change their menu?
I think they change it pretty seasonally, and if not, they also change it in between seasons too. So they do specials all the time. This is a place where I had the
Oh,
what's it called? The shakshuka meatball sandwich, I think. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Emily found it. And she's like, I'm on this thing.
holy
Yeah.
crap, dude! This looks
It
so good.
that place, like shout out to them. One of the best restaurants I've been to in Oregon.
Oh my god. Oh my Lanta, this
I
looks
think I want to go
incredible.
buy a waffle maker today.
Bro, do it. And just so you don't steal the other one.
Yeah, seriously.
I would never take that to work. Are you kidding? Somebody could take it. Somebody could steal it.
Yeah, somebody could take it
Yeah,
along with
someone could take it
the
and
buffalo
steal it.
sauce. Dude, don't. I feel like I should bring you guys hot sauces when I come visit.
That would
Yeah.
not go amiss for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be helpful.
Do you guys have a huge hot sauce culture out there?
It's
Because I know
getting
I know there are spicy things, but not like I don't think there would, you know what I mean? Not like I guess just hot, like any kind of hot sauce, but not like American hot sauce culture, if that makes sense.
I would say I kind of feel like the beer culture is bigger here, like the niche beer culture, but like the hot sauce is definitely a thing. Like people always come into like the communal eating area at school with like a new hot sauce and they're like, "Oh, you got to try this one. You got to check this one out."
Mhm.
So this is good stuff right here. It's yuzu and kaki vinegar.
Ooh.
Costco is a pretty funny name, but you'll see a lot of time here that the hot sauces they'll infuse it with yuzu or something.
Oh, that sounds fun too, though.
Yeah.
This is the one that I really enjoy because it's not spicy at all. It's called, I don't know if that's gonna like see it. It's called wasafuru, and it's just like basically wasabi oil that you can just like
Interesting.
sprinkle over stuff, and you're supposed to put it on like chicken, like karaage. I put it on popcorn.
Oh, on popcorn. Oh, I love
Yeah.
hot sauce on popcorn. Like
Yeah.
it's so I know
It's
it
good.
I know it makes it kind of soggy sometimes, but it's
No,
so
it's
good.
good. It's
It's so
good.
good.
I like soggy popcorn, and I also like burnt popcorn.
Burnt popcorn, I can't
I made
get behind.
popcorn last night, but it was an accident.
No, I can't get behind burnt popcorn.
It
I think
not like super burned, but like a little like interior crunch because it changes the texture of the crunch,
Yeah.
and it's got like a fun like "ooh, I might kill you" kind of flavor, and I really enjoy it. It's good. It's kind of like charred popcorn. Yeah, why are we calling it burned when we could call it charred popcorn? Because that's what it is.
when you say charred, it sounds a lot better. Right?
Yeah,
You're like,
charred.
"Oh,
I
okay,
like a little
that's
charred
a fun
popcorn.
thing."
Yeah.
But no, like burnt for me, just it's just burnt popcorn. I don't want that in my life.
I can't.
Fries in
Yeah,
the thick.
just to clarify, if it's like black, I can't do it. But like a little crunchy on the inside, a little like toasty. I like
Okay,
it. A nice,
that's
a
okay.
nice crisp.
I love flavored popcorns though. The
Oh,
only
yeah.
one I don't like, this is gonna sound really bad because it's the most basic, is like movie theater butter popcorn. I actually dislike that. It's because it's so fake. The butter is so fake
Yeah.
tasting. You know, I'd rather cover it in the like nacho cheese sauce if I'm gonna go there.
At home, I am a popcorn fiend. Like
Mhm.
whenever I don't feel like making a full meal, I just have popcorn for dinner and I have no shame in that. And I will like pop popcorn, I'll put some butter over it, salt, and then I just do a bunch of nutritional yeast. I love
Nutritional
that
yeast is
stuff.
legit because it gives it
It's
kind of
so
like a nutty flavor. It's
yeah. It's
really,
like a
really good.
cheesy, nutty. It's really yummy. Yeah, and
We
then I
there
will like literally lick the bowl. I'll like lick my finger and just like get in there and like any of that nutritional yeast at the bottom, and I'll just like lick it off. It's so
I've
we
good.
never
have
put that on popcorn before.
no, it's really
It's
good.
delicious.
Yeah,
I
there's a
don't. Yeah, I've never done it for you, Joe, because I have like limited supplies. I have to order in my nutritional yeast, and I
Like
hoard it.
oh, I
I
that?
didn't think about
basically
that.
hoard it. Yeah.
Yeah. Nutritional yeast is
Yeah.
bomb, like especially on popcorn. And we have a custom, I don't know what you would call it. It's a small like company out here that does popcorn toppings and they make like
Ooh.
30 different ones and you can get basically
Ooh.
any flavor. And
Yeah.
maybe I'll have to think about packing some of those if you guys like popcorn that much. Like it's
Ooh.
super fun.
Emily
You eat
brought me
like
next time actually. Last time she went to the
hell
States.
yeah.
But
Hell
I
yeah.
asked for
Yeah.
movie theater butter because I'm a basic bitch.
No, man,
It's
butter is
good.
good. I do like putting stuff like one of my honestly, I like doing a little is just a touch of butter to like get it wet enough to hold on to stuff, and then I'll
Yeah.
put tahini on my popcorn.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The Mexican spice,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
guys yeah, that to me, and then even just like a little bit of lime juice on top, and it's so good up
I
until the point to where it's soggy.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of soggy, when you said tahini, the first thing I thought it was tahini. Like
Tahini might be interesting
Tahini.
though.
the
Too sesame-y,
bread.
too like
Yeah.
nutty.
I don't think I've ever had I have a jar of tahini downstairs. I'm sorry,
Mm.
tahini. I
Tahini.
should try it with I don't know if I would like it.
So one of the great dishes in Turkey is tahin is common in Turkish cooking,
Mhm.
and pekmez is a sort of a molasses. And so like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? But like you'll see this quite frequently over there is tahin and uzum pekmez, like grape molasses
Ooh.
with tahin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mixing
'cause
those two flavors together is like
yeah.
it's like a treat. It's like for kids and stuff.
I love that because I grew up on the pomegranate molasses stuff
Mm,
versus
Ooh.
that. Yeah, pomegranate molasses
Yum.
is so good.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good, but it's so rich. And so it's like we only ever had it on like my dad would use it on like turkey kebabs or something or like beef kebabs because
Ooh.
it gives a little
Ooh.
sweetness to it with like the oh man.
It's not too far off from like a satay in Malaysian cooking.
That is true. Yeah. Yo, what's up, Uncle Bear? Thanks for
Hey, Uncle
coming in.
Bear. Thanks for coming in.
We haven't even done the intro yet.
I know. We've
We
just been
kind of
talking
just
about
like
food.
we just jumped into food discussion
Yeah.
because it's been
Yeah.
one of those weeks.
Uh,
But yeah,
So, guys, we're here also to celebrate the end of Matcha Madness. As
yes.
nearly May. This was a kind of a crazy idea that I had to have our viewers and people who follow us to vote on their favorite anime foods. Now, I did as much research as I could to find brackets worth. I was so inspired by March Madness. I wanted to put together a bracket, and so I put together what I would think of as like a nice like variety of different Japanese foods, trying to keep it Japanese foods, trying to keep it to anime that prominently featured it in some sense, and have people vote on it one by one. So I randomized everything, and I had our users vote on it. And so I just wanted to run through every, and you guys haven't seen a lot of these, Paul and Emily.
Mhm.
That's right.
You have
Let's go.
voted on them, but
I did vote on some of them. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait because I want to see the results.
yeah, we got a decent turnout on these. And so, yeah, I didn't want to spoil too much, but I thought maybe I'd go through the votes and you could tell me what you think wins, and I'll tell you what wins.
Okay.
And get your kind of feeling on these different food from these different anime. Okay.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, so the first one was Melon Pan from Shakugan no Shana and Ebiten from Restaurant to Another World.
Abby
Okay.
10.
I said I thought Ebi 10, yeah.
Yeah, so actually we had these votes going on YouTube and on Instagram, and on YouTube, Melon Pan was the winner, 54%.
Wow.
However, the votes on Instagram were overwhelming for Ebiton, so Ebiton made it continued on after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause
Melon
like,
pun is not as
it's
good as you think
fine.
it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I am a turnaround on melon pie. You know what did it for me? When the Mario came out, they did a Yoshi's egg melon pie.
That's
That
right.
was green and it was all emblazoned with Yoshi stuff. And this was at 7-Eleven. And like I thought it was so good. It had a nice custard interior to it. Sometimes they're just plain bread, which is a little meh.
When they have custard inside, I think they're like a little redeemable because they're kind of like donuts. But when it's just plain bread, I don't love it.
Yeah. It's got a nice glazed crunch on the outside.
Yum.
All right. So yeah, that one was Ebiton. How do you guys feel about shrimp tempura?
I love shrimp tempura.
It's incredible.
I will literally eat shrimp tempura for hours.
Yeah.
I think I did for a video. I made 2 pounds of it, and then I regretted every decision I made about making 2 pounds of shrimp tempura.
I love shrimp
tempura. Is
tempura.
great.
Measured in pounds.
Tempura, tempura is in general is I think it's not underrated. I don't think it's underrated, but I think it's underappreciated because it's so hard to get a beautiful crisp crunch like tempura like shell. It's like thin, light, airy, but also crunchy. And you have to eat it super fresh to get that nice like crunch locked in. And to me, the like plumpness, the like plump kind of like juiciness of the shrimp in contrast with the crunchy outer shell of the like tempura is peak. It's so good. And it's really hard to come by. You don't get it fresh here very often. Like
No.
it's like it's pretty hard.
Even in restaurants that I had worked in, we because of how busy places would be, you would pre-fry a lot of the shrimp tempura.
Yeah.
You know, and then if it were for a shrimp tempura dish, like that's what they were ordering, like as a plate, you did it fresh. But for a lot of the sushi rolls that like the shrimp tempura went into the roll, they were slightly pre-fried and then you refried them to finish. It was almost like par baking, par boiling. Like it's a thing, you know.
It's a technique. Yeah,
it's a technique, unfortunately.
All right, let's continue on, guys. So the next one was between the croquettes from Ore Monogatari and the taiyaki from Aikatsu Stars.
Ooh, I'm gonna say the taiyaki.
This one wasn't even close. Croquettes crushed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I can still see that. I would go taiyaki for me. Like that's what I want.
Here's the thing about taiyaki too. It's been a while since I've had a good one. If ever. Have I ever had a good one? I made some for my cookbook, which I liked and I think were good. But even so, it's kind of like I find the batter a little overly sweet. And then the interior is always too sweet for me. So it's just like it's a lot of like one note sweetness. I prefer them like taiyaki filled with anko, like bean paste, to me is just too sweet. I don't like it. I don't like the flavor of anko that much.
Me neither.
I like it better when they have chocolate inside or when they have custard, or better yet, if you want to turn it into like a handheld pie situation and do something really crazy, like you've got maybe like apple pie filling inside or something. To me, that's like a better place to move it. But I rarely have them here that I like. I've got a taiyaki place a couple stops down from like on my train line, and they like basically make them fresh at the beginning of the day and then just kind of sell them throughout the day like donuts. And so like they're not even like hot when you get them usually, unless you're at a place that's like pumping them out for
I think 80% of the reason people like taiyaki is because of the fish. The fish.
Yeah, the shape is cute.
The shape is cute. It looks cute in your hand. It's nice to take pictures of, and I don't know, there's nothing really cool or inspiring about it unless it has a nice filling. And azuki is just red bean paste is fine. I like it more than most people, but it's not enough for me. So croquettes are diverse. They're so versatile. You can do a lot of different things with croquettes.
That is true too. But also I feel like there's just a weird taiyaki culture out here that I've seen where if you find a place that sells taiyaki, they're making them to order, which is really cool. But
that's nice.
They're filling them to order too. So there was actually one in Seattle at a Wajimaya out there, which is like a little Japanese grocery. Well, not little, it's a big Japanese grocery store. And there's an eatery that you can order like the ham and cheese taiyaki. and they'll
Yum.
literally pour the batter into the mold, put the ham
Yum.
and cheese in there,
Ooh.
seal it, like, and you get this hot ham and cheese taiyaki. I don't know. It's super good. So maybe I have to try a bunch of them out there.
See, that sounds like a win to me. That sounds
Yeah.
like we took the taiyaki and did something fun and cool with it, and we're making like a little handheld hot pocket on the go.
Basically, it's a hot pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, that's legit. That sounds great.
All right, let's move on from there. Oh, by the way, I did struggle. I will admit I'm not familiar with every single one of these anime. I've never seen Ore Monogatari, but I did think about including the croquettes from Kill la Kill. Based on
Oh yeah.
but those croquettes are famously disgusting. Like they're filled with like.
Well, they're mystery croquettes, so you never know what you're gonna get inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I decided against it because I thought that would turn people off. All right, so the next one coming up on the list is takoyaki from Waiting in Summer or mitarashi dango from Demon Slayer.
Oh God. Okay. I think what probably won was takoyaki,
But
but I would have voted for the mitarashi dango.
I'm gonna say what won was Demon Slayer, but I would have gone the
Oh.
other way.
Really?
Yeah, just because it's Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Well, you guys will both be surprised to hear that takoyaki crushed it. 77.
Oh, nice. Okay, thankfully.
Dango.
I'm like,
Uncle Bear in the comments is like, yeah,
takoyaki is legit, dude.
Only if it doesn't actually have octopus in it will I agree with that statement.
That's fair. That's like Rachel. She does not like the chewy like octopus center.
Yeah,
and even she doesn't like the fish flakes. She doesn't like the dashi flavor, but she likes the idea of it.
Yeah.
So I remember one day I made her a pulled pork takoyaki where it was where it was more of like it had a little bit of cornmeal in there and there was no dashi. I filled it with pulled pork and then I topped it with like sour cream and like charred corn and like cotija cheese. I'm like, it's technically still takoyaki in design, but it's not takoyaki.
Paul, I'm the queen of amazing ideas and I just had a new amazing idea. What if you and I together collaborated on an incredible fusion food cookbook of like Japanese x American cuisine, and then we sold it and it made us $1 million, and then we could retire early.
I'm down.
That sounds great.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Everything you're describing sounds so good. I love this. Is my favorite thing to do is take like Japanese foods and then just like kind of like shake it up and make them fun and interesting. I once made a Thanksgiving stuffing, but it was like Japanese, like miso. What was the flavors? Like miso, mayo-y, like Thanksgiving stuffing. It was incredible. It was really delicious.
No, I think changing flavors up like that is amazing.
Yeah. Anyway,
to do a takoyaki is to make it takoyaki with a C.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we've done that before. That's good. We made pizza yaki before. That was good.
Takoyaki.
Yeah.
All right, moving on from that, we have the gyoza from Natsuyuki Rendezvous or the omurice from Spy Family. Again, I almost went for the gyoza from Doro Dehoro, the Netflix.
Yeah, Doro. Yeah,
Doro.
So I kind of just wanted the one that was not supposed to be gross. So what do you guys?
It's not gross. Oh my god, Doro famously, she works in a gyoza restaurant and like they make
like legit gyoza. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think
how would you guys choose between the two?
I'm partial to omurice, so I'm going to say omurice.
I prefer gyoza, but I feel like Spy Family has the name appeal. So maybe omurice won, but I prefer gyoza.
Omurice was one and done. People wanted none of it. It was gyoza.
Oh, gyoza.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not surprised by that pick, but I still think like I would rather have omurice instead of gyoza. Well, damn it. Now it depends on the setting too. But if right now I want omurice.
I'm not an egg girly, but yeah, I prefer gyoza. And then my dumpling.
I gotta go with gyoza. I could smash 20 gyozas at a time.
That's fair too.
It's fine. I'm a big egg guy. I love it. They do it here with demi-glace and do it with katsu and
Yeah. I feel like omurice is more of like a comfort foodie thing. Yeah. Gyoza for me is like a fun party, like party.
Yeah, that is true.
Pop it in, eat it.
If I went to an izakaya or something with you guys, I wouldn't be ordering omurice. I'd be ordering gyoza and takoyaki and stuff like that. Yeah,
we did it like a teishoku kind of place where it's like we're creating a fake Western atmosphere in this restaurant.
Yeah,
like picnic tables and stuff. Okay, yeah, gyoza. I gotta go gyoza. There's a great fried gyoza place actually in Shibuya that I love.
Nice.
Fry it, and I've had it too, where they make the wrapper with wasabi flavored.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
yeah,
yummy.
it's versatile. Okay, so yeah, gyoza, omurice gyoza was the winner. Next one we have is katsudon from My Hero Academia
Mhm.
and curry rice from Erased.
Curry
Ooh,
rice. I love
no,
curry rice, but
I do too.
katsudon has to win.
I'm gonna say katsudon.
Yeah. Curry rice is good. It's again one of those comfort food meals kind of things, and it's tasty, delicious. I haven't had it in a while actually, but it's like can't miss with it. But katsudon is like, yeah, iconically good. I'd order it every time, you know?
Yep,
Yeah,
I'd go with katsudon.
katsudon smashed it. 70% went with katsudon.
That's a big
Mm,
split. Yeah.
yeah.
Huge split. Curry rice, I don't know. It's uninspiring for people, maybe. I love curry rice, but actually it's better with tonkatsu. I think curry
Mm,
katsu is the best way to
Curry
have it.
katsu is amazing.
yeah,
I agree.
karakatsu.
Curry katsu is like the best thing. If you ever get a chance to stop at a Japanese rest stop area on a freeway, you have
Yeah.
to always have curry katsu. It
Yeah.
always is the best curry katsu you ever had.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
true.
Legendary Japanese rest areas on the freeway.
That
Yeah,
sounds so.
yeah.
I want curry katsu. I'm so hungry.
Mixing the two of those together is the only true answer. Katsudon, though, as far as My Hero Academia, is it the what is it called? The oyakodon when it has the mother and child with the
Yes, the egg and
Oh,
chicken.
yeah. Oyakodon is so tasty
Oyakodon's
and
So
comforting
here's
and
what I don't
warm.
like about that. It gets rid of the whole crunch appeal of the katsu.
But it's got more
That
of
is
like
so
a
that's one thing that I don't do. I know that traditionally, like when you make like the oyakodon with the chicken or whatever you're using, you're supposed to like put the you do the onions and whatever, blah blah. You put the fried pork or chicken on there, and then you pour the egg on top, and it makes everything kind of. Then you steam it, right? But then it makes it soggy. I do all of the egg and everything first, and then I just cut the chicken and I put it on top so it's still crispy.
Yeah.
It's like it to me, I know it's not traditional, but I think it's better because it's like I want the crunchy. Like I want that. Like you spent the time to get a crunchy crust. Like enjoy the crust.
Paul, do you leave the eggs a little gooey, a little runny?
A little bit. Yeah, I won't overcook them entirely.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta leave it. I
Mixing
think the
that with
goo
rice
factor.
and soy sauce is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Runaway for Katsudon, and I think we'll maybe see Katsudon come up later in the tournament. Okay, next one, we have the eponymous matcha tea from Shirobako. Again, not a show I was familiar with, but when I looked it up, I actually got really into that show. I watched
Yeah.
episodes. It's about a team making an anime, right? And so
I did a
Oh, okay.
cosplay. That's like one of the 2 shows that I've cosplayed from. Yes, I cosplayed. Well, Joe, have you seen any of the episodes?
I watched the one with matcha tea and like the one right after it.
Okay, so basically it's a show about Shirowako is a show about a bunch of girls who are all working towards making anime. And
Mhm.
the anime that they're making features 3 magical girls, and me and my 2 other friends got together and did a cosplay of the 3 magical girls in the anime that they're making in the show.
That's
Gotcha.
cool. That's deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the winner for so that was matcha tea, and the other one was strawberry cake from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I think season 3.
I think obviously strawberry cake must
I'm gonna say
win.
strawberry cake too.
Yeah, y'all, this was 80% strawberry cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tea. I think people like the idea of matcha, but I don't know. Strawberry cake is hard to make, or it could have been JoJo stands. Who knows? Just go in that direction with it. I don't know. I would say that of the two, I prefer strawberry cake, but these are such different flavors.
Yeah.
Strawberry cake is sweet on sweet with more sweetness, and matcha tea is like can be sweet, but typically
Honestly,
more bitter.
if we do a matcha madness again next year, you should just do like savories versus like savories on one side of the bracket, sweets on the other side. So
Mhm.
it's like facing off the savory,
Not
sweet,
fair.
sweets.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Or do like a sweet only bracket. Because that's the problem is like I think that as much as I love sweets, at the end of the day, I usually will go for a savory over a sweet because I can just eat more of it
Same.
and
I think
it's
so
just
too.
it's a little easier to consume, you know.
Okay, next we have. Oh, this was a big one, you guys. All right, this one was sushi. Just sushi.
Just sushi.
From Tadakun Never Falls in Love. Is that what it is? And yakitori from Anonymous Noise.
Sushi, obviously.
Yakitori. How do you guys feel? This is a classic.
Oh, I know. That's actually
Sushi to me, sushi has to win.
It's almost a coin flip.
Yeah.
But I think, damn, which one would I want more?
Yeah.
Because I think of all the experiences I have with sushi versus yakitori, and they're very different experiences, and like I think it would be sushi. As much as I love yakitori, I think it would be sushi.
Well,
yakitori is great. It's a good thing to eat with your friends. Go out, have a couple sticks, have a beer, whatever. But I'm just a sushi. Like if I don't have otoro in my mouth at least once a month,
that's fair.
It's like, why did I even move here? You know, what's the point of being here?
I gotta go for sushi because it's my favorite way of eating fish, and I do prefer other ways of eating chicken more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a healthy assessment.
That's about the only thing I could say about that. I prefer raw fish over cooked fish.
Okay.
But I've had better.
I totally agree.
But yakitori is a more fun vibe and experience.
I think it's because yakitori just reminds me of like, oh, I'm on the street. Maybe I'll grab a snack, like, you know, or I'm at an izakaya and like I can grab 4 or 5 different skewers.
And I've been to some rowdy sushi places too. Like it's not always like a kaiseki kind of like, what do they call it? The course serving.
Well, you went to the sushi place owned by the Yakuza where you literally shook them down for all that they were.
Oh my God, Paul, this place in Shinjuku, Paul. It's just called the Sushi Shop with no name. Literally, just
that's what it's
for a shop, right? And 100%
Yakuza laundering, yeah,
because they sell sushi for 10 yen.
Oh,
10 yen per piece. And so me and my friends, we
clear them out, dude.
We shut them down. This place it's only standing. There's only room for like 3 or 4 people inside. There's a TV playing like sports, and that's it. And there's just like some surly dude back there, and I'm like, I'll have 20, and it's different every time. So it could have been Otoro, but the day we went, it was buri. I don't know what the English name of buri is. Is it yellowtail?
Yellowtail, I think.
Buri buri. I don't even know. It's kind of a slight pinkish white color, the fish, but it was really tasty. It's
amberjack.
Amberjack. There you go. Anyway, so we just completely shut this guy out. We were ordering 20 at a time. We probably had close to 50 pieces because it was only 10 yen, you know, and
like 20 pieces is like $3
or nothing. Yeah. And eventually he was just like,
you're done. Get out of here. Yeah.
Like, get out. Dumb it.
Like,
all right. So guys, this one was funny on our YouTube vote. It was 50-50.
Oh,
how does that even happen? 50-50. But it was the Instagram that put it over with like a 56% for sushi.
Oh, only by 6%, technically.
Yeah, that's close.
I feel like that's how I was.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of glad we did the 2 different voting places so we could have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one was sushi. Okay, after that, this is gonna be an easy one. It was onigiri from Special A. And ramen noodles from Ms. Koizumi loves ramen noodle.
Ramen.
It's gonna be ramen all day.
Yeah, it was
as much as I love onigiri. Yeah,
it was 80% ramen. I had a hard time even choosing because on that show she eats a different bowl every day.
Yeah.
Or every episode. Emily has made the German style. Actually,
it's really good.
It was fantastic. Ramen is, one of the top soup dishes in the world. One of the top noodle dishes in the world. Fight me about it. Pho versus ramen is the eternal debate. What's better?
Those are very different for me.
Yeah.
I because I love both. To me, I would rather have pho in the summertime.
Yeah.
I would rather have
ramen in the wintertime.
Yeah, ramen when it's a little bit colder or something because it's a lot heavier.
Yeah.
Where pho, it could be 110 outside and I will crush a bowl of pho.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to drink like that fatty, congealed, delicious lip smackiness, and it's 100 outside.
Paul, you said your favorite is miso, and you're currently making some tonkotsu downstairs, right?
That is true. Yes,
I will tell you, there's such a thing as shio based dashi.
Shio is still good. But I feel like it still
color.
has that like
It'd still be
fattiness
pretty
to it.
rich.
You know, it's still really rich.
Well, I will say I think ramen has a lot more versatility. Like you can do a lot with ramen and change it up
Mhm.
like a huge amount and it can still be a bowl of ramen. Whereas pho is kind of more like one note, I would say.
Mm,
But pho is delicious. It's incredible. It's so good.
mhm.
And it's just such a different I would say I think pho is a better all-rounder.
Mhm.
Ramen is a really good like specialty kind of soup.
I could see that. Like ramen would be like the night out kind of thing, and you're gonna have this
Yeah.
like very
Yeah.
like voluptuous,
But like
for lack of a
pho,
better term,
yeah,
bowl of
yeah.
ramen.
But it is a breakfast
Pho
food in Vietnam. It is a breakfast
Yeah,
food.
Oh,
pho
yeah,
is a
I'll eat
breakfast.
it
Yeah,
every day of the week. I'll
Yeah.
eat it
yeah.
every day of the week. Ramen, maybe once a month.
If you came at me and gave me like this really rich ramen for breakfast, I'd be like, all right, so we're not doing anything the rest of the day, right?
Yeah,
You know, but if you give
exactly.
me a bowl of pho, I'd be like, okay, cool, let's go do stuff.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, yeah, for
exactly.
sure.
I have to go get ramen today. We're talking too much about it. Let's move on. Now we're into the semis, you guys. Okay, so we're seeing all of our favorites come back. Croquettes and strawberry cake. What do you think?
I would pick strawberry cake, but
I
I
mean,
think
this
croquettes
is
are
the
gonna win.
problem of putting the sweets up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think croquettes are gonna win.
I'm gonna go croquet as well.
Croquettes won. Croquettes won. That was 67% over the strawberry cake. Okay. So then how do you guys what is like some versatility while I'm getting the next one? What is it about croquettes that is appealing to people?
Because you can do
Oh,
anything with them.
yeah,
Because like
they're so
strawberry
much
cake is
fun.
strawberry cake, right? Like
Yeah,
you can have maybe a couple of different varieties, but if you have a croquette, you could have it be mashed potatoes, you
it's
could
so
have it
fun.
be a shepherd's pie, you could have it be a
Yeah,
Japanese version, a curry,
yeah.
like you could fill it with ramen realistically,
One of
you know?
and you could make it a sweet too. Two of the
Yeah,
best croquettes I've ever had are ones that I made from Don't Try to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon or whatever
oh yeah,
that show is called.
it
And
shows
they
great.
have yeah, they have because it's a game, they have like food items that you can eat for sustenance, whatever. And there's a matcha cream croquette, and then there's a
Mhm.
chocolate chili croquette. Chocolate chili croquette is really delicious. It's just a regular croquette, and then you dip it in a chocolate chili sauce, and it is
Nice.
incredible. But then the matcha cream one was fantastic too because you just make a croquette, but the dipping sauce is literally like unsweetened like matcha whipped cream.
Mm,
And it was the texture difference between the crunchy croquette and the soft pillowy whipped cream with like the bitterness from the matcha was so good. I
that
still
sounds
think about
awesome.
it to this day. Yeah, it was so delicious and
I wanna go make ramen ones.
surprisingly, yeah, surprisingly good. It
All
was
right, guys, let's
incredible.
move on. Next, ramen versus gyoza.
Ramen
I'm
has
gonna
to
say
win
ramen again, yeah.
because it's
This
got
is
more
like
like name
putting
brand
best
appeal.
friends against each other because you don't
Yeah.
have one without the other.
Yeah,
I
no, I would have
know,
both at a
yeah,
table. If we went and got
yeah.
it, I'd be like, "Oh, we're
A
getting
lot of
gyoza and then ordering ramen, right?"
yeah, a lot of ramen shops here do. They have gyoza as well as ramen in the shop.
Mhm.
Like you order it as a side dish. But it's got to be ramen just because I think it's got more like name appeal for people. Like at this point people are like, well, ramen is ramen and
Uh-huh.
gyoza, like Naruto likes ramen. He doesn't like gyoza.
Yeah, so this was a clear winner. Ramen, it had it 90%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, yeah,
Destroyed.
yeah.
Destroyed.
Sorry.
But I would pick gyoza for the record.
Okay. Emily, you're crazy. You're crazy, girl. I can't believe you would do that. Oh
I'm in the year of dumplings, okay? Nothing
I'd be down for some. I might
uh,
go have some gyoza downstairs.
nothing better than a steamy hot dump
Emily,
to
I
cheer
need
you up.
steamy hot dumps. Yeah. Emily, I need to take you to this place in Shimo Kitazawa that's Michelin listed. That is
Yeah.
it's got sort of a
It's a
fish body.
Michelin listed gyoza restaurant?
No. It's
Oh, oh.
ramen.
Ramen
It's
Oh,
ramen
ramen.
with wontons.
Yeah, you
Oh.
tell me about it literally all the time, but you've yet to take me there, so what's up with that, man?
I've been there twice in the past month. It's like my favorite shop.
Dude,
And it's
where
yeah.
was I? You get all upset when
Well,
I do stuff without you, but what about me? Okay.
I think you were having girls' night or something.
Screw you.
Okay, moving on. We have Ebiten and Katsudon.
Katsu wins 100%.
Down, not even gonna.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
katsudon.
Ebiten is fine, but it's just like a piece of a better udon dish, maybe, like
Mm,
you're
yeah.
gonna have it together with something else. You're not gonna eat it by itself. Katsudon is a more all-around dish.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Now after Ebiten and Katsudon, by the way, that was an 80% win for Katsudon.
Dang.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, this
Destroyed.
next one was a lot closer. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Takoyaki and sushi.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
I would pick sushi, but I kind of feel like takoyaki might win.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with. Dang, which one would I eat more of? Right? It would always come down to sushi.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't. I'm gonna say takoyaki. I like takoyaki. I'll split it. I'll split the difference.
All right. Well, the winner of a very close vote, 54% to 46%, was takoyaki.
No
Ugh.
way.
I can't believe it.
Wow.
I can't
Are
believe
you kidding
Takoyaki
me?
legit
Voter.
beat out sushi?
No. Okay, Uncle Bear's gonna be excited. He likes takoyaki, but
Yes.
this ain't it for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring this up. I can't believe it either. I'm shocked. Takoyaki is fine, but it's like it's not anything.
Fine.
Takoyaki shops are in every single town in America. Every single place around the world is in love with sushi, but takoyaki, like really? Takoyaki's
It's
bad
slept on.
10 minutes.
It's slept on.
It's slept on, yeah. Well, that one was surprisingly close. Okay, then we have takoyaki and katsudon.
Ooh,
Katsudon.
katsudon, I think.
I think it's just like a crowd pleaser, katsudon.
Yeah.
It is a crowd pleaser at 70% to 30%. Katsudon was the winner there. Again, I don't think it's my favorite way of eating katsu.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's iconic from My Hero Academia. Maybe I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
It's like Deku's favorite thing on the planet.
It's good. It's kind of a kid's food, right?
Yeah.
I would still rather have it your way with like curry, and then like the
Yeah.
katsu on the rice and then the whatever. Yeah.
Nice. Well, any chance to add more sauce to something, you know what I'm saying? Like sauce it up.
Yeah. Poor Melon Pond got crushed early. Too dry.
Poor Melon Pond never stood a
Never
chance.
stood a chance. Too dry. Okay. Then we have ramen and croquette.
Ramen is gonna be the winner.
It's gonna be ramen.
It was 90% ramen.
Yeah.
Croquettes. So that means that our last one is ramen versus katsudon. And this is the last.
I'm still gonna say ramen. I think ramen is gonna be our champion.
Okay, I'm gonna fight for the underdog and say katsudon, but I kind of think that ramen is gonna be the champion.
Okay, so this was closer. We had between our different platforms, we had about 100 people chime in on this one, and the winner is ramen with 66%.
I can see that.
Wow.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Ramen, again, it has that. It's really weird to me because ramen has that prestige with it, but it's not a fancy food, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
not.
it can be. It can be if it wants to be, but it's versatile.
But I remember having ramen at like stand-up joints for like $5,
Yeah.
I think it has that massive spectrum, like instant ramen for like 30 cents, that you get in a packet, or $25 for a really good bowl or whatever it is. I'm not surprised by the outcome though.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised by the outcome either. I think that ramen is ubiquitous, like with Japan. Like people are like, Japan ramen, got it.
Which is interesting because I found out that ramen wasn't even a thing until what, the 60s or something like that.
That's correct. You've come to the expert on ramen, and maybe this is like this is absolutely another topic for another day. But it's true, ramen did not really come to Japan as it is known in its form today until just before World War II. And then after
I want to dig into this at one point because I was making ramen. I haven't made ramen broth in probably like a year, right? And because I usually just make it for a video because I'm like, I would rather just go buy ramen because I know it takes me 2 days to make it.
Yeah.
So I was making it. I'm like, they literally took French techniques and turned them upside down. Instead of slow and low for the broth, you boil the hell out of it for 2 or 3 hours to emulsify the fats. Whereas in French, like stock making, you do the opposite. So the fats do not emulsify and give you a cloudy broth.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is actually kind of fascinating. So I want to know more of the history of like where it came from. That'd be super sweet.
That's got to be a whole entire episode, Paul.
Yeah.
Emily is about to give a TEDx talk, actually.
Let's go. Okay, so next episode is, here's the title. where ramen really came from.
Yeah, dude, for real. I
wanna
got
do a deep
you.
dive.
I'll
That's
give you
sick.
a whole history lesson.
Let's do it. Let's plan that out. This was fun.
That sounds so fun.
Okay. So next time we're gonna talk about the Matcha Madness winner ramen.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
we're
down.
gonna give it a
The
spotlight.
ramen, the
Totally
ramen
down.
episode after
I
I
love
film the Naruto ramen that I have to eat ramen 3 times in a day. My bowels are not going to be happy.
Hey, small bowls.
One of
small
them
bowls.
is a breakfast ramen, so we're going to involve hash browns and
Yum.
house
That
made
sounds
sausage
great.
and a little fried egg in some ramen. It's going to be like everything you would get at Mickey D's with noodles, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, that sounds great though.
It's going to be so good.
Big brain. Wow. Well, that
I
sounds like a
can't
lot of fun. I had a lot of fun today, you guys.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. Uncle Bear, thanks for hanging out. This was actually episode 16, I believe, of our
I think it's 15.
I
15.
count. I don't know. I counted 15 on our
All
back
right.
end. So we'll look at it.
We'll have to figure it out.
We'll figure that out. It's one or the
Yeah,
other.
eventually.
Oh, yes. I've been Paul.
I've been Emily.
And I've been Joe. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys.
See you
Have a
guys
good one. We'll see you guys next time.
later.
Bye.
Bye.